670,000 customers and businesses were affected by the order. Lisa Balick is at a Mount Tabor reservoir where they shut off the water after finding contamination this past week. And Lisa, they lifted this boil order less than 24 hours after issuing it.
That's right, Ken. Tests show that there's no signs of contamination at any of the city's reservoirs. Now, I want you to take a look over here. What they're doing right now is draining 2 of the 3 reservoirs up here at Mount Tabor Park where they found harmful bacteria. An all-clear sign just 24 hours after a boil water or do not drink alert. Portland's freshwater fountains fed by Bull Run Reservoir turned back on. Water samples from 20 sites now show no sign of E. coli or coliform bacteria. I found out that's out of 60 samples gathered and tested yesterday. Even if one had tested positive, the boil order would not have been lifted. How does this just go away?
Well, that's a good question.
Bacteria that indicates fecal contamination showed up in 3 samples this past week from 2 Mount Tabor reservoirs and a downtown water sampling station.
The whole reason behind the testing mechanism is to tell you if you have a widespread contamination.
Many people wonder why it took 3 days to issue a boil alert. I found out that false positives turn up about 6 times a year. Usually it's only when a routine sample and a follow-up sample from the same reservoir show fecal bacteria that a boil water order is issued.
You did give us some good news. No more bottled water for all the tables.
What's it meant for you guys?
A lot of boiling water.
At Kenny and Zook's Delicatessen, like most Portland restaurants, they had to throw out a lot of washed food this past week as a precaution.
It's very disruptive. It takes a lot of extra steps in order to make up for not having water that you can just pull from the faucet.
Portland's boil order left an impression on visitors this holiday weekend.
We're leaving because there's no clean water here. We're out of here.
It's scary to realize how susceptible we are to sorts of, any sabotage in the future, anything going on like that with the water supply.
Since hundreds of Portland area companies, from bottlers to brewers, lost business yesterday, I wanted to know if the city will accept responsibility. Is the city prepared to handle damage claims from businesses?
I don't know what damage claims businesses would be submitting. There is, if they weren't able to do business, then they could submit a claim to risk. I don't know if the city will accept it or not.
Now, we will definitely be checking on that for you this week. One other thing we found out today, when that boil ban was lifted at about 11 a.m., several viewers called us at KOIN TV several hours later saying even though they had signed up for public alerts, it was at least 3 or 4 hours later when they finally got the phone call that it was safe to sip. Live in Southeast Portland, Lisa Balick, KOIN 6 News. It is good.